Women Techmakers channel and the Multicultural program. Today we have like two guests, two Brazilians, and we would like to introduce you guys. Okay, first is Lisandra. She worked with us in the Woman Techmaker as a Woman Techmaker ambassador, and Juliana, she worked in the IC group as a project manager.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's your turn, guys. Can you talk a little bit about how are you in the IT? How long have you been working in the area and your role now? We start with Juliana.
Okay. First of all, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me. My name is Juliana Viana, and I've been working with IT since 2002. And I've started actually working with IT with an academic role. So I've started with my Master of Science in Information, Innovation, and Technology within business organizational management. And I started teaching in this area. And then in 2006, I started working for some companies in Brazil, but I was always conciliating teaching with my job in corporations.
I guess like your background is not from IT. I guess you are from administration.
Yeah. So my background is business management, but my bachelor's degree. But then my master's was in information, innovation, and technology in the context of the organization. So I started teaching in that area, and now I've been in Canada for a bit more than 2 years, and I've worked for Greatest Life as business systems analyst for robotic process automation.
Wow.
In their robotic process automation center of excellence. And then after that, I was invited to work at IC Group as a project management office lead, and that's where I am now.
Oh, good. Now is your turn, Lisandra. Talk a little bit about like your history in technology. How long have you been? The roles that you have been played.
Okay, thank you. As I should say, thank you for the invitation. It's very good to be here. So, I started, I believe, 70 years ago. My graduation is not IT. My first graduation is administration, like her, but my major is business. But after that, I did a post-graduation in system analysis. That's why I start my career in IT. So I started in 2002 as a project lead. But in Canada, I'm working Manitoba Health as a project analyst and policy analyst at the same time. We work to integrate EMR in the whole province of Manitoba. So I have been enjoying to be part of the IT area for a long time. I believe I work more in IT than administration, even though I can combine both, because with the administration and information, knowledge, and experience, I can use very well in IT area as a project manager as I was in Brazil.
Great, super. And what brings you to the IT area? Like how you decided to start your career in IT? It's a male environment, and we'd like to listen your story.
Well, for me, it started in my latest year at university. I read a book called Telecommuting, and then actually the title was in Portuguese. It's not the telecommuting that we have in English. It's a different book. And then I found it very interesting the way that technology was helping companies at that time to be more flexible. And it was in the 90s. And then after this book, I read another book called, that was related to educational informatics. So technology applied to education services. And I noticed that the things that I liked the most to read, they were all related to technology.
Okay.
Yeah, so business management has a sub-area that is called information systems. And it's good to clarify, provide a little bit of clarification, because a lot of people think information systems, when I say it, I'm talking about software, but not really. Information systems is a sub-area from business science, the same way computer science is a sub-area from mathematics. Mm. And this area is more comprehensive than just software. So it embraces people, processes, hardware, software, or in data, whatever is involved in the transaction, processment, and the use of information for creating value in the organization. So this was the area that I got more interested, and then I chose my Master of Science in this field of innovation and information and technology management because of that. And then I started teaching, and I felt even more in love with this field when I started working in 2006 with automation projects. And then I continued to work in IT, implementing some IT best practices. So I worked for Accenture in Brazil for some years as an innovation and continuous improvement analyst, and helping the company to find better, smartest ways of work for the solution, their software factories. Mm-hmm. So I end up in this area of helping software factories to improve their processes.
Yeah, my case, like I went to IT because my brother, he bought a computer. It's just like a TK 2000. It's just like a keyboard that you need to plug in the TV. And we started to like coding, and I said like, I like this. I will just like become a professional. And just like I have like 17 years old, like as a technician. And after that, I decided just to improve myself. Always, I work in a really good company in Brazil that's called Caesar. That was an environment that we just like enjoy so much to work every day. You come to work and it's like, oh yeah, that's good, and I just like continue. How about you, Lisandra? Can you tell me a little bit about you?
In my case, I think so is very different of you guys. So I need to tell about my first experience, because I came here in Canada after my graduation. I was 21 and 22 years old. So I finished my degree in administration. I fell in love for Canada. I go back to Brazil. And when I go back to Brazil, I say, okay, I would like to move to Canada. Yeah, how can I move to Canada? So I started digging, how can I go to Canada?
Okay.
And my degree wasn't in the med list.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yes.
to immigration to Canada. So, okay, what I can do now? So I can get another degree, I can go for the school again and get a new professional. So I don't know what I can do it. So, and after 3 months in Brazil, I got a job in IT company.
Oh.
I didn't ask, but it was very convenient for me. So I got this position when I saw the environment, when I met people and they start to speak with me about tech, what is possible, how can you do in softwares and change people's life or behaviors, whatever. I say it's something that's good for me. So, but I need to check if it's in Canada list, in immigration list. Okay, I double check, was on top of the list. I say, that's the profession that I need. That's what I'm looking for.
That's
so, okay,
good.
So now I need to go again to college. I need to get the experience. And I did my homework.
Okay.
It took me more than 4 years because I need to get experience.
Yeah.
I need to go to the college again. I need to know, to get experience. And I made.
And you fall in love with IT.
After that, I decided to say it's not about just coding.
Yeah,
Because in the beginning,
sure.
in my mind, so I don't know how to coding. It's not coding.
Yeah.
We have more areas in IT than just coding. You have management, you have process improvement, you have quality assurance. All these professionals or areas in IT, you can apply your skills and whatever you have as a knowledge or a degree, you can match. That's why I decided to go for the management area, because I have degree in administration. To get technical skills is not so hard. So if you match both, you have the best word. So I work in this path, match the both areas, and include my goal to come to Canada, and works well. I'm here.
Good, good. Now that you talk about the love about technology, we will change a little bit, talk about the challenge. Yes, as a woman, we know that like IT, technology is a main environment, yes. And many companies today is worried about like bring more women in tech. I'd like to know what challenge have you been faced to being like a woman working in many environments?
Well, I'll talk about my experience,
Sure.
but I don't really know if everyone can relate to that. Yes, I did face some challenges when I started working with IT, but one of them was I felt the burden of having to prove that I was as smart as everyone else in my team. I had to prove. So I felt this burden when I was working in a team that was, in a company that was, that the majority was, were male. So yeah, but after some time, I could prove that I was qualified to be in that position. And I think this type of challenge I've faced not only for being a woman, but I've also felt a similar challenge when I started teaching in university because I was young.
Oh.
I was 22 years old when I started as a professor. And I was being challenged all the time and have to prove that I had the skills to be there. So yeah, this is something that I felt after some time when you have some background and then when you are known in the industry and known by some companies, then this burden, I don't feel it anymore. And especially because, well, 20 years ago, things used to be a bit different.
Yes.
So the IT world has changed from that time to now. So this was one of the challenges. And the other challenge that I faced was, at the beginning, I had to learn how to be listened. Sometimes when I was in a meeting, I was the only woman in the meeting.
Yeah.
I confess that I started behaving,
Like
adopting a masculine behavior, because changing my voice tone, changing my gestures, to try to look more masculine, so I could be listen in those meetings, that my opinion could. Because I remember an episode that I was in a meeting like this, and me and my boss was also a woman, and we were with some directors, some executives, and then they were discussing a problem, and I proposed a solution. And she was the only one that stopped to look at me when I was speaking, and they all just totally ignored me. And then right after, the guy that was sitting beside me said the exact same thing, and everyone stopped and said, "That's a good idea." And then when I left that meeting, my boss said, "You know why they haven't listened to you? You have to be more masculine when you're talking." Otherwise, it's hard for people to listen to what you say. So this was a lesson that I've learned when I started some years ago. Yeah, I don't feel it anymore. I think things have improved a lot from that time to nowadays.
Yeah. And how about you, Lisandra? Have you been facing any challenge, just like to be a woman in tech?
I faced almost the same challenge that her. I started not the same age as her, but I started when I was 26 years old, even though it's not too young, but 26 years old and have to manage a team of 15 people with mixed women and women that sometimes is double of your age was something that drove me crazy many, many times. So they define me every day, every minute to make sure I have the knowledge, I have the experience, and they challenge my patience as well. I need to be very patient, a lot, but that happened. So it's the same. It's about my age. It's because I'm a woman. Another thing that happened is I changed my voice. I changed the way that I'm dressed because I cannot use dresses to go work. I work in the factory that we have 100 employees, 2 women. So I cannot use dress. I stopped to smile as well. I cannot be nice and big smiles means something else. So I stopped to smile. And my voice of tone changed as well as hers. And I need to be very direct. I cannot be around of the bush. I need to be direct like them and look in the eyes and say, I'm not kidding. I'm saying the truth. Pay attention to what I'm saying. So I need to be respect. And I start to say, I need to be respect. I respect when you speak. I need to receive the same respect. So that was my big challenge.
Okay. And one question, just like if you have opportunity today to give advice to yourself when you start your career, what it will be?
Well, I think I would give the advice I'm going to give. I actually, that was what I did. And it worked well. And it brought me here where I am now. The first thing is, I've never expected or relied in government, HR, quotas, anything to make my life easier. I always learned that if you want to be successful in life, no matter if you're a woman or a man, you have to stand up for yourself. And eventually people are going to listen to you. And the other advice that I would give for those who want to start in this IT field is do never stop studying and learning. Yeah. Because in IT, continuous learning is the best investment that you can make in your career. So if you stop learning, you can be a man, you can be a woman, you will stay behind, you won't follow, you won't catch up the industry because it's an industry that is very volatile and things change very often and we have to keep investing in our continuous learning. So if you are continuously investing in your learning and you are very committed with the outcomes of your work, you'll be successful. Yeah,
for sure. Okay. How about you, Lisandra?
My advice will be, nobody knows everything. In the beginning, when I start, I say, I need to know everything. No, nobody knows everything. We learn every day. And we learn in the books, we learn with each other. So that's my viewpoint, because when I start, I thought, maybe, I'm pretty sure that I need to know more than others. No, we don't. The technology is an environment that changes every day. And my experience cannot be your experience. In the moment that you work together, you'll be opportunity to learn. So another advice, like she said, never stop to learn. You cannot be in the same knowledge or the same. We need to keep it up with whatever have in the job, the market area, whatever you have, whatever opportunity that you have, you need to take. But it's not just to go to college, not just certification. It's get experience.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Yes, I think I agree with you guys. I guess it's really important to make yourself knowledgeable and just is to study and improve yourself. Yes, I did it myself. I just look at my resume sometimes and I just how much I have been done for myself. It's really just good to see, and you get the results back. Yes.
Yes, sir.
I have one question for you, Lisandra. You are the Woman Techmaker Ambassador now.
Mhm.
And what do you thought, to start this? How you, decided to become a Woman Techmaker Ambassador?
Okay, my first thought was, I was challenged so much to the fact that I'm a woman for so long. But that happened more, and not here, but more in Brazil when I started 20 years ago, because the reality today is very different. But we still have companies or people's behaviors regarding about women. We are gender is not just women, but genders. So genders don't define who you are, how good you are in any kind of profession, or if you're a good person or not. So with this idea in mind, I decided that it will be very nice if I have opportunity to defend the women in area that I love, that I work with. If I can change the environment and the people around me, I get the point. So if I change one mind, and this might change another 100 or one more, for me, I got my goal.
Okay.
Okay.
And Juliana, you are a manager. You are in the position that you can just interview and hire people. How do you see the woman in the interview? How you compare the approach woman and men?
Well, the interviews that I have participated of, I've actually noticed it was very recent. I mean, 15 years ago, I didn't have much experience interviewing anyone, so I don't know if it was different at that time. Maybe it was. I find, I don't find much difference. I think we are living in a context and in a society in which women, they are feeling much more empowered and more confident. And you can notice that in job interviews and in other contexts, in other scenarios. Of course, I'm talking about our experience here in the West, in North and South America. I understand that there are some other countries around the world that women still face a lot of challenges, and of course, here we still face a lot of challenges, but I know that we have also we had a lot of achievements too along those decades. So I don't notice much difference in terms of confidence. It's more related to the personality, I think, than to gender.
To gender. Okay.
Yeah, that's my personal experience.
Yes, that's good. Good to know. We are about to finish now, but I would like to ask you if you have something that you would like to share or anything that you would like to advise for young women that decide to start a new career in IT.
Yeah, so as I said, don't be lazy to study, okay? Study a lot, learn a lot. Run after certifications too, because I know that some people don't, some companies, they give a lot of value to certified professionals. Some professionals think, oh, certifications, they don't really say if you know or not, if you're experienced or not. Actually, for me, when I'm hiring, when I'm assessing someone's resume, certification tells that that person spend some time studying. So I may not know if this person will be able to apply the knowledge in a way that can bring value to the organization, but at least I know that the concepts this person knows. And I find one of the things that I struggle the most during my whole career is I was always academic and also a company professional. But I was always very attached to the concepts. And sometimes it's very hard to try to discuss benefits, advantage, disadvantage of a model, of a framework with someone if that person doesn't understand what the framework is about. So certifications, yes, they do make a difference, at least I think for most of the people they are hiring. And yeah, so continue to learn, to study, and don't be, don't expect, don't rely in other people or government or HR to make your life easier. Okay, so we have successful men, successful women. They were people that stood up for themselves and for other people that needed someone to stand up for them.
How about you, Lisandra?
My advice for young women is, for me, is don't give up, because challenge we have every day, sometimes two times a day, not or all the meetings that you need to face. So if you stop in the first, you cannot go through not just IT but any other career. So never stop. It's never stop. And for any challenge, never stop to study. Never stop to share knowledge with others, share experience. If you put this in the plate together, you're gonna have a very good career and have success in the future. That's my point.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, thank you so much, guys, to come. I would like just to thank you, the Multicultural Channel, for the opportunity to us. If you'd like to follow Woman Techmaker on Winnipeg, just like in all social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, just look it for Woman Techmaker Winnipeg. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.